Jordan. I'm a Wrangler with Creator Institute / Book Creators. And we're just going to be looking at the RE dashboard really quickly. So, as you all know, there are three groups really for revisions. There's the first 8-week group, the second 8-week group, and the 16-week group. So the dashboard kind of reflects that. As you can see, there are labels over here on the side, just to designate who's 8-week, who's 16, and down here as well we have that. So the 0.0 is the first group of 8-week plus the 16-week as well, and then 0.1 is the second group of 8 weeks, and then we have the 16-week continuing down here. So each 8-week has their own section, and you'll be using the 16-week throughout the entire thing. For the sake of example, I put myself just in here for the 16 weeks, so you can kind of see how that goes. But basically, it'll just be all of this information in 2 places. So you can just easily track them throughout the entire time. We're just going to go through things pretty quickly. A lot of this is self-explanatory. A lot of the light yellow columns are going to be filled in for you, so you don't have to worry about those. But there are some other sections in here that are more relevant to what you're going to be doing. Of course, I now look over here and realize you have to fill out these yellow ones. But these first yellow ones, you don't have to worry about. You'll have that information provided to you. So if we're just taking a look at this first green section, this is to track your initial read through those first 5 weeks before you meet your writers officially, before you send out the introduction message to them. So each week you'll just check the box when you finish your reading report and turn it into your Wrangler, either me or Sherman. And each week you just check the box just to, keep everything organized. And then this last one is for when you have completely read through everything. So that's kind of how you fill that out. I should have checked these ones for my example at the bottom here, but beggars can't be choosers. All right, so then in this next section, this is also just to track messages that you've sent, who you've had a phone call with, and if they have scheduled with you for all of the weeks that they are with you. Some authors don't like to do that, which is fine. But if they do schedule a call every week, just, mark it down, just so that we can track that. It's mostly just for admin stuff to track who's really communicative, who's easiest to get a hold of, stuff like that. But, once you set your introduction message, you can check the box. Again, key dates. Once you've sent that, check it. Once you've had your first call, go ahead and check that, second call, etc. This is more of like a living column. Each week you'll want to check for when you have sent the message, and then uncheck it for the interim between 1 week and the next. And then when you send the next week, just check it again. We do that just so there's not a million columns. So this one is more of a living column. You can check it and uncheck it as you need to. This section is for direct communications with your author. If your author has sent you a private message or a direct message, this is where you will track that. Again, this is just to keep up with who's communicative and who is a little bit harder to get a hold of. These columns relate to if the author has talked to you privately. if you sent them a message privately and they just never responded, that isn't what we're tracking. We're tracking who is actually talking to you behind the scenes. So if they send you a PM or if they respond to a PM that you sent, and again, PM just means private message or DM direct message. You'll see that, kind of interchangeably. Then you just check it and you do that for all of the weeks that they're working with you. This overflow week is just in reference to any messages they send you in a transition period after they're done with their revisions with you. And also for those 16-week people. They are tracked down here as well. As you can see, we have PM week 1 / week 10, so that you can track the 16-week people down here as they, move into the second half of revisions. But this overflow week also, if you're really focused on just this top section for a little bit, this overflow week is a good way to track your 16-week people. And if any 8-weekers decide that they need to send you something after their time with you is up. So that's kind of how that section works. Again, this one down here is for the 8-week part 2, I guess. And that's again noted by the 1/10, 2/11, et cetera, et cetera. If anyone has questions about that, just let your wrangler know. I know this is a little bit overwhelming to look at, but once you get in and start working on it, it should come pretty easily. Next is the submission dates, which are laid out for each of the 2 8 weeks, and then the 16-week gets shoehorned in with this second group down here. So again, just to be super clear, first 8 weeks, this is their due date. Second 8 weeks and 16-week, this is their due date, or submission week, I should say. So during this time is when you're gonna turn in the manuscript that the writer turned into you to your wrangler. Again, this will be more clear once you actually get started in the process and you approach these last weeks. But once you have turned in a manuscript to your wrangler, just check the box and then that box will be checked. This one is more for your wrangler, this section right here. That'll just let you guys know when wranglers have actually turned in the manuscripts to copy edit. That's what this CE means. So once the wrangler has turned it in to copy edit, we will go in and check that box as well, just to keep everyone on the same page. This column is really for you to do what you want with. You can keep goals here for your authors, what their call schedule is, what time zone they're in. That's something that a lot of people like to do, is what time zone. This one is really just for you though. You can put whatever you want in here. And then the next section is just to track your weekly revisions. It's set up in the same way as the PMs. So I won't spend too much time here, but once you finish a week's highlights, you could just check the box to keep yourself, on track. And so your wrangler knows that you're done with that week. And again, for 16-week people, you'll just finish off with this column, or this row, excuse me, and then you'll just move right on down here for the 9th week and up until the 16th. Then the final column is just to say, yep, everything's done. We did it. All of the revisions are done and things are ready to go. So that's what that one is for. Next up, we have the publishing lift recommendation. As you can see, it's just a yes, no. We have writing quality. 1 is the worst quality, 5 is best. And then the notes on their writing quality go here. So anything that you kind of notice will go in here. I believe what we're doing is the DE's developmental editors also have these columns that they fill out. So I believe we're giving you this information first, and then you can adjust it as you start to work with them. Same here, excuse me, the same is true for author needs over here. The numbers are flipped. Do note that. 1 is they are not needy, 5 is they are the most needy person that you have ever encountered. And same with the notes, just put in any notes that you have about that here. Publishing lift will, be talked about as that approaches, but it's basically just this extra thing that if you're noticing a writer isn't particularly engaged with the process, if they are not really doing their revisions like they should, you can recommend them for a publishing lift. So if they need that, just check yes. And this is like the final due date to get that information to your wrangler. So once you've done that, just press yes, or check the box, sorry. And we'll get all that sorted. If they don't need it, just no, and then that's that too. Again, though, the publishing lift information will kind of be covered, excuse me, in a little bit more depth as those dates start to approach. As you can see, we really don't have until like October for that information to really be necessary. But it'll get explained, I promise. Then as we approach these last sections, these are also things that you do not need to fill in yourself. These will be provided for you as you get your authors. So the title will be filled in, what genre they are, if they're fiction, nonfiction, poetry, and the topic of their book, which is basically their elevator pitch for the book. This will give you just a quick summary of what you're getting into before you actually sit down and read it. But that's kind of it. Like I said, this will be provided for you, as will, sorry, going to the front very fast. These will also be provided for you. You don't need to worry about filling those in. The only things you need to do as an RE are the sections that, really the middle sections. The bookends you don't have to worry about, but this one, the green, this second yellow section, this pink section, both pink sections, this purple one, not this one, and then from here until the orange sections about title, genre, that kind of stuff, you don't have to worry about that either. But yeah, hopefully this is a comprehensive tutorial on how to use the dashboard. If you need help, do not hesitate to ask your wrangler. We'll help you get everything sorted out. And it will become very self-explanatory as you start to do the work. But, right now we only got a blank template. So I did my best with my own examples, but things will be a lot clearer with actual people populating these dashboards. So if you have questions, let your wrangler know, and good luck with the rest of your training.